What's going on, with your team? Welcome back to another episode of South Stand Stories. And of course, we're all here to sit down and dissect Leeds United losing another stupid game, which we shouldn't have lost, against Sunderland. Leeds United 0, Sunderland 1. And the thing that makes it even worse, Ipswich now pulling away an extra 3 points as they came back against Watford today and won 2-1. And I don't think any of us here are sat here with extremely high spirits, to be honest with you, because that game was awful. It wasn't fun to watch. It didn't look very fun to play. Didn't look very fun to be in the stadium. The weather wasn't that great. It was just a poor day all round. There wasn't really a lot of spark from Leeds. There wasn't a lot of energy. There wasn't a lot of great creative play. They didn't look like there was all that much hunger. It looked to me a lot like, Sunderland were the side that were more hungry for the win, that wanted the win more. The thing with Leeds is, we started off the better side the first 15 minutes and probably the last 10 minutes of the first half. Aside from that, we didn't really create that many great chances. Sunderland looked, like the team most likely to score. They had a couple of great opportunities from set pieces, which Leeds were fucking criminalistically bad at dealing with, and that should have been a sign of things to come. Leeds' lack of aerial prowess at times, especially defensively, and it came to haunt us eventually. We'll get onto that after, but Sunderland creating the better chances. I don't think they played much better than us in the first half, but they created the better chances. As for the second half, we came out flat. We really did. The ball was getting stuck in the midfield. The transition wasn't great. There was a lot of sideways football, a lot of backwards football. There wasn't a lot of synergy. There wasn't people taking too many risks. And again, we created Jack diddly squat, and if any side looked like they were going to do anything, it was Sunderland. And you know what? That should be a wake-up call in the 50th to 60th minute. Okay, we're all sat there. Everyone in the chat is saying, okay, listen, look, Dan James, I love him. He's played very, very well, but today he's not having the best of games. He's not the most effective out there. Okay, Wilfred Gnonto's looked very hungry recently. Put him on at half-time. See what he can do. Put Bamford on. Perot is doing nothing, really. He's not really offering anything in there. Put Bamford on. Put Joseph on. Put Gelhardt on. It doesn't matter who. Get a striker up top to alleviate some of the pressure, allow Leeds to hold the ball up better, allow Leeds to push Sunderland back because they were starting to get a foothold in the game, and potentially, put someone in there that's going to create the movement off Rutter to create some space and allow us to score a goal. But nonetheless, put one of those strikers on for Perot and take Dan James off and put Gnonto on. Seems like a flawless plan, right? What does he do? Absolutely nothing. He watches the game from the 45th minute to the 75th minute, just completely drift away from us. Completely drift away. Leeds are looking no more likely to score than we did before. In fact, we're looking less likely to score as the players get tired. Sunderland really grow into the game, and what do? They make changes. They make changes throughout the half to allow them to push forward and try and create something, try and score. They look like the side that were hungrier to win that game, and they thoroughly deserved to win that game because of that. Because Leeds sat on our asses, not making any changes until it was too late. It was too late. It was after the 70th minute, and what does he do? He brings Gnonto on for Dan James. Okay, as we all said, but way too late. Okay, what's Gnonto meant to do in 17 minutes worth of football? You should give him at least half an hour so he can try and create something. No, you give him 17 minutes worth. Okay, what's he really meant to do then? And then he takes Rutter off. Really? The one guy who's going to create for us? The one guy who, even if he wasn't having his best performance, he can pull something out of nothing. He can put a great ball in out of nowhere. He can score from distance. He can take 2, 3, 4 players on and create something. He is the person, along with Somerville, that is going to drag us out in these kind of close games. So what does he do? He takes him off and then decides to put Jadon Anthony on in his position when we need a goal. I'm sorry, this isn't even me criticising Jadon Anthony. You need to put a striker on the pitch. You need to put a striker on. Take Perot off and put a striker on. And leave Rutter on the pitch. Put Gnonto on. Why is that so hard to do? And the thing is, if you do it earlier on, and then Rutter, he still hasn't improved that much, and you're not getting much out of him, then you change it in the 70th minute, then you take him off, then you put a Jadon Anthony on, you do something like that. You don't just do it all in the 73rd minute. Then what happens? Leeds go and concede, and the game's completely against us. And then he decides to throw Joseph and Bamford on. Too little, too late, and it's just poor. really, really poor. I don't know what you guys think about his changes, about his substitutions. Am I off the mark here? Because I don't believe that I am. A lot of people saying, why are you getting angry at him taking Rutter off? Because, as I said, I don't care if the guy's got half a leg. He's still likely to create us something. He's still a danger man. And right after you take him off, we concede. Archie Gray left nowhere near his man. And I mean, if we are going to get onto the goal, it is one of the most fortuitous goals I have ever seen in my life. Okay, that was fluky. Fluke personified. Fluke Woods. I mean, the ball comes back. It's not dealt with at all. Leeds look like they're in absolute no man's land back there. You got about a 7-on-2 scenario, but Leeds are flapping their hands around, completely out of position. No structure to the back line at all. They cross it in. Strike heads it out. He heads it clear. It's not the greatest clearance, out there known to mankind, but he heads it out. And it just so happens, the place he heads it, Sunderland have a forward straight there. He doesn't know much about it. He really doesn't. It just bounces off his head. He kind of heads at it, but it's last second. He's like, oh shit, it's coming towards me. Let me just stick my neck out and let it bounce off me. And then that goes flying forward. And every other Leeds defender is taken out of the game. Archie Gray does not track his man at all. Does not track Bellingham. And Bellingham runs into a very, very open one-on-one and scuffs the header down below Meslier. And that's all she wrote. There was, if I'm going to say one point, I do think Somerville, potentially, Sunderland could have had a red card if Somerville went down there. There was one moment where Somerville picks up the ball to the halfway line. He drives down the other side of the pitch, and then they kind of pull his shirt, and then he carries on his run. And he shoots it down the middle. But, that was the last man, and that could arguably been a red card had he gone down. But that's about all the positives I can say. Again, I don't think Somerville played bad. I thought he played well. I thought Jed Spence at the beginning especially, he looked energetic, and I really liked the look of him early doors, and defensively didn't do too much wrong. I think Archie Gray is starting to get found out quite a lot there at that right back position, and I think we really do need to strengthen in depth in January and bring in some more defenders. And really begs the question, why the hell did we get rid of Cody Drama? Really begs that question, because he could have slotted in there perfectly. And Fark's like, no, he doesn't fit my system, but you're going to play Perot, who doesn't fit your system either, and you've admitted that. So I don't understand. I think Cody Drum would have been perfect in there. But, hey-ho, what do I know? I really want to know what you guys have to think, though, because, like I said, maybe I'm deluding myself. Maybe I'm off the mark. I think I'm pretty close to the mark. But I want to know what you guys have to think about it. Do you agree with me? Do you disagree with me? Do you think his changes were good? Do you think Rutter was deservedly come off? What do you think of their goal? Do you think it was as fluky as I do? Let me know if you think Leeds deserve this or not, but it's gutting, it's heartbreaking, and Leeds once again fall further away from the top two. We're now 8 points behind Leicester and 10 points behind Ipswich. Not good at all. Southampton now, with a game in hand, can catch Leeds United. They probably won't catch us goal difference-wise, but they can tie the points now, which isn't good either. Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section down below, though. I really want to know what you guys have to say, as I said before. But for now, guys, I will see you very, very soon. Au revoir, my brothers and my sisters.